I would not have done that show now. I just would not have done it.
Ryan Murphy, the co-creator of Glee, revealed on the And That's What You Really Missed podcast that he regrets the quarterback episode in season 5, which paid tribute to the character Finn, played by Cory Monteith, who died in July 2013 from an accidental overdose.
I felt like it was way too raw and way too soon.
Over 9 years later, Ryan says that Cory's death should have been the end of Glee.
If I had to do it again, I don't think we would have come back.
Yeah.
Now, if this had happened, I would be like, that's the end, because you can't really recover from something like that.
But back in 2013, the hit show was just about to start production on season 5 when Cory passed, so the question became, what do you do?
Do we cancel the show or do we go on? And it was a difficult decision. And I had a conversation with Leah about it because she was dating Cory. I remember after many conversations from a lot of people weighing in, we made the decision to, well, let's keep it going. And if you're going to keep it going and keep these jobs going, how do you address what happened? Do you just pretend it didn't happen? You can't do that. Did he die off camera? That didn't feel right to me. And I just think that with a lot of conversations, we decided to pay tribute to him.
525,600 minutes.
So it ended up that Finn did die off camera, and the quarterback episode was focused on the rest of the characters dealing with that loss.
I remember everything being very tender and tentative and not knowing where to move. Everybody had time off after he died. I remember we kept moving the shooting date.
After an extended hiatus, the show came back to shoot the episode, and Ryan did ensure there was support for the grieving cast.
Remember that the one thing that I asked for was that there was a grief counselor on set. Not one single person talked to that grief counselor.
No.
I remember watching that episode, and while Lea Michele did perform To Make You Feel My Love,
when the rain is blowing in your face.
I remember Leah was very unsure, and that was her idea to sing that song. And it was like, are you sure? Okay.
To make you feel my love.
ironically enough, it was Naya Rivera who ended up, for whatever reason, carrying the emotional weight of that episode.
I have hated you ever since the day I met you. You are a horrible person who never had a nice word to say about Finn Hudson.
I do remember talking to everybody and saying, do you want to sing a song or not? Or what do you want to do?
If I die young, bury me in satin.
While Ryan doesn't talk about Naya at all during the podcast, it was clear watching that episode that Naya stepped up to the plate, so to speak.
The words of a love song. Oh.
So yeah, while the show would produce another 30 episodes after that, Ryan says that Cory's death was the death toll of Glee.
When that happened, I think our hearts all kind of broke and we were kind of done.
Yes.
Even though it was not said, we were like, okay, well there
it goes.
there it's gone. The spirit of joy of it has left the building.
I thought the quarterback was quite well done. I think Ryan's a bit too hard on himself. To not address that Finn was suddenly gone would have been ridiculous. To cancel the show, I think would have been an insult to the fan base. And sure, Cory was the male lead of that show, but Glee had a very deep cast, so there's no problem going on with that show. I think that there were other mistakes made that were the death of Glee. I think when the main characters graduated high school, I think that should have been the end of the high school setting. When Rachel Santana and Kurt went to New York, I think the show should have just purely focused on them. I don't think the show was expecting those scenes to be as good as they were. And then I think the takedown of Naya Rivera for the sake of Lea Michele's ego between season 5, season 6 was the real ending of Glee. I think it was a dark cloud that hung over that abbreviated season 6. But yeah, what are your thoughts on the quarterback episode? Do you think the show should have just ended right then? Or how do you think they handled the death of Cory Monteith?